Hey everyone, welcome to Continuous Thunder. I'm excited about this one. Today we're talking about the new album from Dream Theater, Distance Over Time, out now on Inside Out Music. So you all probably already know everything there is to know about this band, but it's my channel, so I'm going to talk about them anyway. Dream Theater is a progressive metal band that was formed in the 80s and has been a majorly influential band ever since, not only in the metal world but in the rock music world as well. Guitarist John Petrucci and former drummer Mike Portnoy are practically worshipped by practitioners of their respective instruments, and John Petrucci in particular is widely considered one of the greatest electric guitarists in the world. Distance Over Time is the band's 14th album, released 30 years after their debut, and they are showing absolutely no signs of slowing down. This album is actually one of Dream Theater's shortest, with the album proper clocking in just under 1 hour, and every track is under 10 minutes. Along with that, all the musical arrangements are pretty tight. It's not uncommon for established prog bands to go for these massive, grandiose arrangements in some of the more extended suites, but that's not here. Instead, we have 9 really tight, focused, intense metal tracks that kind of distill the best parts of Dream Theater into nice, easily digestible bits. Even when they do go into instrumental breaks, they're conservative in terms of length, but no less technically impressive than you'd expect. It's worth noting that in their 30 plus years of existence, Dream Theater has managed to not only adapt to the changing musical landscape around them, but continue to thrive in it. And I believe that's partially due to the attitude of continuous improvement from every member of the band. John Petrucci in particular is always practicing, always learning something new. That being said, it's kind of hard for a modern prog band with a major keyboard element to not sound dated sometimes. And you know, I get it. I know that organ sounds exactly like Keith Emerson's, but prog nerds like me are going to focus on that instead of the soundscape that you're trying to create. However, this is the first Dream Theater album of the modern era that doesn't have one of those distracting moments. Even when Jordan Rudess uses a vintage synth sound, it's used so well that I'm not instantly transported to 1975 for a few seconds. The production of this album overall is just amazing. After producing or co-producing 11 albums, John Petrucci has pretty much figured out how to put together something good. Everything is mixed perfectly and it all sounds good. The drums are perfect and some of the guitar tones on this are just huge. On the song themselves, along with the technically amazing instrumental passages, there's some really solid heavy metal riffs on here too. The songs Paralyzed, Fall Into Light, and Room 137 all kick off with really heavy riffs. And most of the songs have thoroughly satisfying heavy passages. The song S2N has a closing instrumental passage where Rudess solos over a guitar riff that is just downright groovy. Even the bonus track Viper King, while it stylistically doesn't really match up with the rest of the album, which I'm sure that's why it's the bonus track, has an absolutely massive hook. All of this put together makes Distance Over Time one of Dream Theater's most accessible albums that they've ever produced, and quite possibly their most accessible for the uninitiated in the genre of progressive music. Lyrically, the album is pretty accessible too. It's not a concept album, and with the exception of the cryptic Room 137, the lyrics deal with much broader and almost universal themes like overcoming hardship, breaking out of self-destructive cycles, or even helping someone who's dealt with abuse heal. Some songs like Pale Blue Dot and Fall Into the Light get a little existential, but not prohibitively so, and the bonus track Viper King is literally about a car. Now, despite all my gushing, this album isn't perfect as much as I'd like it to be, but the problems are very minor. The song At Wit's End has a point towards the end where it goes into this very extended fade out, then it's silent for like 10 or 15 seconds, and then it fades back into a reprise of the outro of the song that doesn't even play for a whole minute. And it just feels unnecessary. It makes an already long song longer than it has to be. That and the power ballad Out of Reach, while it's not a bad power ballad, is kind of subpar compared to the rest of the album. Also, you can't forget that this is a progressive metal album. No matter how accessible this is compared to their other albums, it might be a little overwhelming to someone who's new to the genre. Taking that into account, I rate Distance Over Time 4.5 out of 5. The band just continually proves to the world that they're one of the best. This is easily one of the best albums that I've listened to all year, and it's quite possibly my favorite album of the year so far too. One last thing adding to the cool factor of this, I'm not going to tell you where, but somewhere buried in this album is an Owen Wilson wow.
Wow.
And if that just doesn't make you love Dream Theater even more, then I don't think we can be friends. But that's going to do it for this round of Continuous Thunder. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to know your thoughts. Did you listen to this album? Did you like it? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Is there anything that you would like to discuss in more detail? Go ahead and leave all that down in the comments. Also in the comments, you can leave suggestions as to what I should review next. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell if you want to know when I have more stuff coming out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.